Many people have pointed out the flashing lights that appear on the chopper may be muzzle flashes from a weapon.
I hear the helicopter. Did you see that devil horn?
Go that way. Stay down. Run this way. Keep your head down. Keep your head down. Run that way.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's just a coincidence because didn't Paddock also... Because didn't Paddock... There was a Facebook post that was made on September 25th about how their stock's going to drop. Oddly enough, well, right after the incident, the stock did drop. So everybody's making money here. Because this entire event was done via helicopter.
I mean, there's quite a few lights in the sky as well, if you notice, which I found strange, because the helicopter seemed to be flying around without any beams or lights on or anything else, and it's really irregular flashing. Sometimes really irregular. Now you're going to see the gunshot from the building in a minute. Flashes in the sky, there we go. Oh, where's it coming? There's a helicopter obviously there, flashing away.
So this guy here knows the shooting's about to start. How do we know? He shows the devil horns. You see it right there? The devil horn sign. Let me go back to that. Right there. You see that cow with the devil horn? Okay, watch this. Hold on. Then people start running. How do they know already?
A first clue that some of this was premeditated. After Carruthers was shot, police say Dalton switched out cars and spoke to his wife in the process. He gave her a handgun, told her she wasn't safe without it. He then told her that she wouldn't be going back to work and the kids wouldn't be going back to school. Told her, the report says, quote, she would see what he was talking about on the news. She last spoke with him at 8:30 that night before the murders took place.
2 cars have been shot up. There's 3 people in one car, and one guy is not moving.
Newly released dashcam video shows how it all ended. A calm Jason Dalton pulled over.
Interviews in the hours after the mass killings. Dalton told police little at first, pleading the Fifth Amendment. But police kept pushing, saying the families of his victims and his family deserved answers. He softened a bit, saying he did not know a child had been shot and that he was sorry for that. But then it quickly turned bizarre. Dalton told police that the Uber app on his phone had taken over. He had only recently started driving for Uber and spent that night picking up and dropping off fares, all during that shooting spree. He said he saw the Eastern Star symbol, then the devil pop up on his phone through the Uber app. He described the devil as a quote-unquote horned cowhead that would give him assignments. He said he picked his targets randomly, but that he did not recall the killings at Sealy Kia. But he told police he remembered the shootings at the Cracker Barrel, says he never aimed and didn't remember the feeling of the gun in his hand, only the sound of pop, pop, pop. Dalton was wearing a bulletproof vest at the time of his arrest and was carrying a loaded 9mm handgun. He told police he did not get into a shootout with them because the color of the Uber app went from black to red. Now, Dalton had no known mental health issues.
In terror, while one group of people just nonchalantly stands there. One of them is even vaping as the gunshots go off.
Down, everyone, Terrence! Terrence!
The group only seems perturbed when a bullet literally almost hits them. And perhaps
the very reason that Hodgkinson did what he did, and I believe Paddock did what he did, is because the left has now encouraged the use of violence as an extension and use of political speech.
Those sentiments were echoed by forensic psychiatrist Dr. Law. People are using this video of a taxi driver to claim that there were multiple gunmen because the gunshots sound close at one point and far away the next. Well, as this firearms expert explains to me, the sound bouncing off the buildings is going to change how you hear it. This is an echo.
Obtained exclusively by ABC News. Grinning there under his arm is Lisa Crawford, who says she was a property manager in a building he owned in Mesquite, Texas for 6 years.
He cared about everybody's finances. He cared about everybody's cars. He actually cared about people.
Including her. Those pictures show them palling around together with iconic Las Vegas hotels in the background.
We emailed, text. Neither one of us liked talking on the phone.
Crawford, who says she's spoken to police and the FBI about her friendship with Paddock, said he had a goofball sense of humor and was even generous to his tenants.
The person that I knew back then, they would have enjoyed living on one of his properties.
But Paddock remains such an enigma that the FBI executed another search warrant on his home near Las Vegas on Sunday. You can see where they
hours, and the wife asks him afterwards, what's happening with his wife? He didn't talk about his wife. I mean, these are people who meet on the golf course every week. Okay, so, and people joked at me about that I didn't know whether Steve was married or not. Steve did anything he wanted to do whenever he wanted to do it. He was an independently wealthy, no ties attached guy. If he wanted to bring him back here, we came back through Vegas to see Steve because I want my kids occasionally to see their uncle, but we live on different coasts of that. So when we're in the vicinity, we try to see him. I mean, I would have seen him more recently this year. We were out in the motorhome in Yellowstone, but we were going to go by Reno and see him, but we didn't make it because it snowed on us and da-da-da-da-da-da. So I didn't see him. But with my son, we stopped. We ate in one of the best, in the Fusion restaurant. I highly recommend the Fusion restaurant. I can't think of the name, but
in the foreground. At 10:14, much larger crowds of people come streaming through the area to escape the massacre going on. You can see a large amount of wind and debris. Apparently that's due to a helicopter hovering overhead. At 10:16, two men drag what appears to be a fallen victim into the parking lot.
Like you've never felt before, no matter how old you are. And it's like you knew the person through many lifetimes. You may even actually have memories, past life memories of being with the person. When they talk to you, when they... things like that, and aromatherapies to help me relax. So whatever. Now we do have some color on this one, so it's even more alkaline than it was. Oh wait, it's starting to turn blue. So we are at. They started shooting. Everybody thought it was like fireworks or something at first, and then people just started dropping around us, and everybody tried to stay down. And every time like a group would get up to try to run away, they just start shooting again, and it just kept going on and on.
We knew it was chaos and mayhem because people were running out of everywhere.
That was it. It wasn't that, okay, let's all leave and now it's okay. No. We all started running and they came in. That's why there's no physically humanly possible way that guy physically humanly possible way that guy that was the physically humanly possible way that guy that was the only shooter. If you were where we were and how we were hidden and the way they came in and herded themselves out into the staff parking lot and then continued shooting into the staff parking lot.
The Las Vegas Police Department is saying that they do believe that it is just one person.
Headshot. So the way a lot of people Mandalay Bay, obviously the way there was a lot of headshots. So the way a lot of people got headshots and it was like the guy was right.
From the 32nd floor across, could you tell it was coming from Mandalay Bay?
Obviously the way there was a lot of headshots. So the way a lot of people got headshots and it was like the guy was right high.
I love the way you say headshot.
We're gonna wind
back because I'm a nurse and I just felt that I had to. So I went to 3 different scenes. The first one was okay. The second one was worse. And by the time I got to the third one, there was just dead bodies. There were 6, and they were all young people. So there were so many people, just normal citizens, doctors, cops, paramedics, nurses, just off duty. Everyone was just communicating and working together. You got this person, you got this person, you got this person. It was completely horrible.
What is that guy in the background?
Everyone was just communicating and working together. You got this person, you got this person, you got this person. It was completely horrible. But it was absolutely amazing to see all the people go. You got this person. It was completely horrible. But it was absolutely amazing. It was completely horrible. But it was absolutely amazing.
With a lady in front of her telling her that she was gonna die. That we were all gonna die. That we were all gonna die, and she was part of it. So her and her boyfriend were both Hispanic. They were probably about shorter 5-footers, probably about 5'5", 5'6". They just look like everyday people.
Can you tell us anything more about them, what they look like? Why were they escorted out? Were they escorted out because you were feeling uncomfortable about what they said?
Yes, because she had been messing with a lady in front of her, telling her that she was going to die. That we were all going to die. So they escorted her out to make her stop messing around with all the other people in front of them. But we actually weren't there whenever the shooting had occurred. We had already to make her stop messing around with all the other people in front of them, but none of us knew that it was going to be serious. We actually weren't there whenever the shooting had occurred. We had already left about maybe 10-15 minutes before that, but we just barely made it back into our room whenever it started. That we were all going to die and she was part of it. So we were all going to die and she was part of it. So that we're all going to die. That we're all going to die.